Hi Cancer, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your December 2020 love reading. Thanks to those who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. As far as personal readings go, I'm probably going to start those up again in January, just to give you a heads up there. And as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the Bridging the Gap spread, and the way it works. The cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. These are the past energies, present energies, future energies. And then once we get through all those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left side as your energies, and the cards on the right as theirs. If you feel like it's the other way around, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, past energy on your side, we have the Nine of Staves, which is the Nine of Wands, Sagittarius energy, and Five of Arrows, which is the Five of Swords and Aquarius energy. So for some of you, what I'm seeing with this primarily is that you guys were really guarded toward this connection. For some of you might have felt like they were coming on a bit too strong for you. So I could see that as probably the primary reason for that. Maybe even if not just aggressive, but maybe just communicating too often, and you might have felt a little overwhelmed with that. And discarded, possibly because you hadn't healed from a past situation as well. But with the Five of Arrows there, it seems like, once they might have decided to leave, it seems like you might have, actually regretted them leaving. So one of those things where could have just been a hard time trying to get your energies to match, where maybe the interest was there, but you just felt like it might have been coming on a bit too strong for your liking. All right, and past energy on their side, we have the Eight of Chalices, which is Pisces energy, Eight of Cups equivalent, and the Seven of Swords, which is Aquarius energy on their side as well. So for some of you, you might be dealing with an Aquarius, but really what I'm seeing here is, again, I get that same theme that I was saying where if we look at their body language, it looks like the male's being a bit of an aggressor there, and it looks like she's not feeling it. Plus we see like the red on him, which represents that passionate energy, and her clothes definitely have a bit more of an icy vibe to them, right? So definitely seems like the same dynamic I saw there, where they might have come on a bit too strong for your liking, and you might have rejected them. And here, Seven of Swords in traditional tarot points to deception, but here I'm not seeing deception. In this deck, it points more to just having a disconnect than actually needing to take some time to figure each other out. So I could see that playing out on both sides as well. So, the attraction seems to be there, but the approaches seem to be totally different, or at least they were in the past. All right, in the present position, we have the Ten of Arrows, which is the equivalent to the Ten of Swords and Gemini energy. So we're pretty much about to have this full moon eclipse in Gemini at the time I'm recording this. And for you guys, that's your 12th house too. So I could see this playing out to where it's saying, if we think about the Nine of Swords, it's an energy of being stuck in your head. So what sticks out to me is the 9 arrows are very much by themselves there. Then we see that one single arrow, which makes me think almost of the Ace of Arrows. So it could just be saying that you guys might finally get out of your heads around the situation. And if that's the case for some of you, you might actually come to a realization around the connection and possibly even communicate it, since that one arrow is pointed toward them. So that's one way I could see it playing out. For others of you, you might just decide that because it's a bit overwhelming for you, you might decide to end the connection. Because like I said, if the attraction's there, but you just feel like their approach isn't a style that you're comfortable with, you might just decide to cut your losses, at least for the time being. Like, okay, I just can't deal with this, and you might communicate that to them. And if that's the case, definitely look out for that full moon eclipse. I think that might be when this is pointing to for you guys. Present energy on your side, we have the Knight of Chalices, which is Pisces energy, the Emperor, which is Aries energy, and Judgment, which I usually view as Scorpio energy. So that's what I'm saying as far as this could go a couple different ways, especially looking at this card, because the Knight of Chalices being water energy, this could represent, for those of you who are, like I said, if this represents you guys coming toward them, finally getting out of your head around the situation and deciding, okay, you know what, I'm going to move forward with it. If that's the case, I could see them having a bit of a, you know, childish reaction to it, like just pretty much being stubborn and having their back turned on you now. Because if we look at the body language there, of course, his back is turned to the cards on that side. And that could definitely be because, you might have wounded their ego in the past when you rejected them. But with the judgment card there, it does look like it's saying that the attraction is still there, the pull is still there. So, I don't see this as a final thing if that's how it goes down. But for others, you this can represent them again making another approach toward you. And then if that's the case, I see, like I said, it seems like you're not really ready to go deeper with them yet, just because, like I said, it seems like their approach might be a bit different for you. So again, I still, in that regard, if it is still them coming toward you, I still see a similar reaction where they might, you know, have a bit of a fit around it and kind of turn their back on the situation, but yet they'll still feel that draw and that pull to the connection. So it's one of two ways I could see those energies playing out there. And in the future position on your side, we have the Nine of Coins, which is Virgo energy, the Nine of Pentacles equivalent, and Contemplation, which is also Virgo energy, the equivalent to the Hermit. So these two cards here, for me, I feel like this is just saying that you guys are, at least for the time being, just going to choose to focus on yourselves, take some more time. This is, for you guys, Virgo is your third house communication. And like I said, there could be that interplay there with the fact that there's going to be that full moon eclipse in Gemini, which they're the natural rulers of the third house communication. So there could be an interplay with those energies, but could just be saying that you guys are going to take some time to, just focus on yourselves. But underneath it, I think you will still be thinking about what to do with this person and whether or not you do want to proceed with the connection. So again, we do see the back turn there, but with it being contemplation, I see that that's primarily what it's saying, that, you might on the surface feel like, okay, I'm just going to do my own thing, maybe even just to give yourselves a little more space, right? To really, get a little distance from the situation and still think over, okay, do I want to be with this person or not? And the bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Four of Swords, which is Libra energy. And usually this represents an energy of healing. Naturally, it comes after the Three of Swords, which no matter pretty much every tarot deck could represent some kind of heartbreak and disappointment. So, this could just be saying that they're licking their wounds, especially if they were the ones who approached you again and you guys shot them down again. Could just be saying that, now they're finally going through the process of healing, giving themselves some time and space from it as well. So primarily what I'm picking up on here, I do feel like you guys are kind of, pushing the connection off, but I don't necessarily feel like it's finished either. I feel like you guys probably will end up back in each other's orbits sooner or later. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have King of Cups. So this is technically the court card for Scorpio, but of course you guys are also water, so this could represent your energy as well. And again, what sticks out to me is the body language. His back is completely turned to the cards on that side. But it is still the Cups energy, right? So I feel like the feelings are there, but you just might not be willing and ready to open up yet about how you do feel about this person for whatever reason. Well, like I said, because primarily what I'm picking up on, maybe because their approach just doesn't really click too well with yours. And the bottom of the deck, on their side, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So I could see this playing a couple different ways. As far as for some of you, this could just be saying that if there, like I said, for some of you, there might actually be that distance where you make that distance in the situation, decide to focus on yourselves. If that's the case, I could see them possibly making another approach when we have the Virgo full moon. So that would be, let's see, around the end of February. So, in a way that might sound like it's a long time away, but this is pretty much a reading for December, But for others of you, this could be even sooner because if we think about Virgo being the natural ruler of the sixth house, you guys are going to have a new moon in your sixth house of Sagittarius, and that's going to be an eclipse as well. So for some of you, they might actually pop up, around the middle of December. But yeah, that's what I see there. So, like I said, I'm really feeling like it definitely seems like there is a clear disconnect between the two of you now, but I'm definitely picking up on energy that you guys will end up back around each other again in the near future. All right, so moving on to the Oracle cards. First, we'll see if we get anything from the Aqua Moonlight deck. I did pre-shuffle this deck before I started recording, and what I'm looking for here is just some jumpers. First, I'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while and nothing comes up, I'll just take that as a sign to move on to the next Oracle deck. But sometimes we do get additional messages here. Oh, already got one for you. All right, and next we'll see if we get any from them to you. All right, nothing coming up, but I'll give it a few more shuffles before we move on. All right, so nothing there, but we'll see what the card is on your side. Okay, we have within a few months. So that, oh, there we go. Now it's focusing. So to me, that points to kind of what I was feeling. So, like I was saying there with that Virgo full moon. So, it might take you guys a little while before you do reconnect. But like I said, it does look like for the time being, you're really focusing on yourselves, trying to get a little distance from the situation. Like I said, it looks like they're going to go through some healing. So, maybe when they come back around with that Virgo full moon, this usually represents a more stable, um, steady energy too. So as opposed to, like I said, if you felt they were coming on too strong in the past, could just be saying that after you go through that healing, when they do come back around, you guys might be on a similar wavelength at least. So hopefully that resonated. And lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here. Same situation as far as I did pre-shuffle this deck as well, but here we're just looking for one card with general advice, and then we'll wrap up. Oh, got one, but it fell, so let me pick that up and we'll see what it had to say. All right. So the card you guys got is Message in a Bottle. There we go. There's the artwork, and the number is 15. Okay, it says communication, a sign, a Clayton, and in parentheses says the ancient name for a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker, pointing the way to your highest good. The oracle's message. Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them, when you believe you will receive them, and when you allow yourself to become fluent in the language of symbols, oracles, and omens. They may come to you as a bird flying by, a logo on a truck, and a song on the radio. Expect confirmation that you're pointed in the right direction. Keep your ears open, for someone might say just the right thing that will give you the answer to your query. Today, your message is this: Spirit hears you, and the reply is favorable. So reading that message made me think of, like I was saying, the fact that we're about to have that full moon eclipse in Gemini, which for you guys is your 12th house. So that could be a time where you might have vivid dreams. You might have sudden insights, some weird synchronicities that might pop up and give you the answer to some questions you might have had. So hopefully that resonated. All right, and then the relationship message says you can expect someone to favor you with positive news. This could be in the form of a letter, phone call, or email. You are the intended receiver of this message, so stay open to what you learn. Only good will come of it in the end. The signs are all there. So, definitely a pretty positive message there, too. But like I said, it seems like for whatever reason, you guys are going to be choosing to focus on yourself for the time being. And like I said, I do really just get the feeling, and especially this card really seems to emphasize that point, that this will be a situation that will end up coming back around for you guys. Like it says there, within a few months. Like I said, for some of you, it could even be as early as that new moon eclipse in Sag in the middle of December, but I doubt it. For some of you, it might be, like I said, as far out as that full moon in Virgo, which would be toward the end of February. So, hopefully that resonated with you guys. Hope you have a happy new year. I'll see you all next year. All right, bye.